guys? My name is Therealpullman, and this is my favorite time of the year. We've been waiting a long time. It's been a huge drought with NFL being not here, NBA not being here. We had a sour taste in our mouth with the Heat losing in the finals, and I've just been waiting for football to come back, and there's nothing more exciting than football coming back except fantasy football. Fantasy football is something that I take very seriously. Aside from pull wax, it's my main job. I've won some really big fan duels, and I'm not here to brag about my accolades, but I just want to tell you that I actually know what I'm talking about. I've won the last 2 years of my fantasy football leagues, my main pull wax league. This year, we have a lot of really cool people. My good friend Sean Henry's in there, the Candyman, Otia Sports, a Gel from Ripping Wax, who runs the Breakers Pavilion. A lot of serious hobbyists in that fantasy league. I'm taking it very seriously. And this is going to be my first ever mock draft. So, of course, I know a lot about football, but I have not studied my mock drafts yet. I don't know what position I'm going to be in my main league. So I'm just showing you guys raw my draft right here. I have a lot of people that I'm looking to get. And usually I don't want to share my secrets, and I like to kind of keep it to myself. But at the end of the day, I'm here for you guys. So I want to educate you guys on who I think is going to be good. It's not a guarantee, but I've been sharp in the past, so we'll see. And this correlates to sports cards as well. Because if I'm telling you that I want to draft George Pickens, and he has a great fantasy year, then that means his sports card market is going to go up. There's a couple of important things when it comes to drafting. One is do not draft the defense too early. Whoever drafts defenses early is just not winning fantasy football. It's all about matchups, so you never really know who's going to play the best D. It's strictly matchups, so you want to look at the over-unders every week. You want to grab the teams that are participating in the games with the lowest totals. You would like to favor home teams. Home teams obviously play better defense for the most part. Weather's super important as well. For those of you drafting a kicker and Justin Tucker and all that nonsense, stay away from that. And for quarterbacks, if you're not getting Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, you can kind of fall back because there's so many stud quarterbacks that perform very similar numbers. And if you're not drafting Travis Kelce, tight ends also drop a little bit, but that is the most crucial position in fantasy football. Having a good tight end is what determines championship. So drafting good tight ends is super, super important. Now, receivers gross you the most points, so there's going to be tons of receivers that we're looking out for. And then handcuffing your running backs. Running backs, man, you got to just get some solid running backs that are going to give you, 10 to 15 fantasy points. You don't need to get them super early, but you do want to get them before they all fall. So definitely at least getting 1 or 2 solid running backs is going to be really important. There's 1 minute left to this draft. I have the 6th pick in this one, which is kind of brutal, to be honest with you. It's like right dead smack in the middle. You don't get a good end around pick. You're always just sitting there stuck smack in the middle. So I'm hopeful that I don't get the 6th pick. But if you're good at fantasy football, you're going to win no matter what pick you have. So here they're projecting Justin Jefferson, McCaffrey, Jamar Chase, Eckler, Kupp, Tyreek Hill in the top 6. Bijan Robinson should have an insane breakout year. It's his rookie year out of the University of Texas. We had the pleasure of meeting Bijan Robinson at the Panini America event in California. That was super cool, super humble guy. Zeke Elliott's not on Dallas anymore, so Tony Pollard's really high up. I drafted Tony Pollard last year, and that's kind of what won me fantasy. So getting those sleeper backup running backs is what could win it for you. And then I traded to get Jamal Williams, which also helped me win, along with Drake London. So it's not about those big names. Every year, everyone says that it's the same big names that are going to win it for you, and it's always someone different. So we'll see here. But who went first? Well, this one's a little bit different because this is not for money. This is a complete mock draft. So, for example, Patrick Mahomes went first here. In no way, shape, or form is Patrick Mahomes going ever first in any serious league. That's why I don't love doing these drafts. But again, I'm going to focus on making sure that I get the best team possible. And I'm not going to really be focused on who everyone else is getting. Justin Jefferson just went second. I had the Vikings to win the division last year. They had an incredible year last year. I don't know if they're going to continue that, to be honest with you. I think they're going to have a super fall back year. I think this is going to be the end of Kirk Cousins. McCaffrey went third. Jamar Chase went fourth. Fifth, we'll see. Jamar Chase has been having some off-the-field issues. Joe Burrow's also a little bit hurt. Austin Eckler went fifth. I'm going to make VC very happy right now, and I'm really scoping out Tyreek Hill this year. I love Tyreek. I just got him in the 6th overall pick. Could have definitely went Bijan Robinson or Nick Chubb, because I think Chubb's also going to have a good year. I think Chubb is the best running back in fantasy football. But I just think Tyreek is going to put up such monster numbers. Like, I see games with 35 points, 40 points. And when you have a player that puts those numbers up, especially more than a few times, that's just a win. Like, you want to get the player that's going to score the most points. Cooper Kupp went 7th. Kelsey went 8th. Kelsey is obviously such a stud. I didn't love what he did in training camp this year, like how he was fighting with his own teammate. I didn't love that attitude, but I'm sure Mahomes will lock him in. So the only running back that's gone so far has been McCaffrey and Austin Eckler. Those two are solid. Of course, Nick Chubb just went in the 9th pick. Stephon Diggs in the 10th. That is an awful pick in my opinion. Saquon is gonna have a huge year. Saquon just went 11th. I'm really looking at Saquon, Bijan, Nick Chubb. I would love to get one of those. Everyone also forgets about Josh Jacobs. He had one of the best he broke like all the records and had the best year out of most running backs. Torched the Seahawks, torched a bunch of teams, caught the ball a lot. Jimmy G does tons of checkdowns, so look for Josh Jacobs to catch the ball a lot too. You want to get running backs that catch the ball in PPR leagues. You get 1 point per catch. Definitely, you got to look out for that. Bijan Robinson just went 12th. That's the pick that I want. Like, my dream pick is like the 11th or the 12th, even the 10th pick. I don't want anything like first, second, third. I really want 10 through 12. I think anyone that's drafting spot 10 through 12 is going to have super solid year as long as you draft right. And looking to trade your draft spots with like spot 1 is kind of really smart, like really, really smart, because sure, Justin Jefferson will put up numbers, but you'll find a receiver that puts up similar numbers to him. All right, so CeeDee Lamb went 3rd, Tony Pollard. So, like, Derrick Henry is just such a solid running back. I mean, it's definitely going to be tricky in Tennessee. I don't know how good of a year they're going to have, but Derrick Henry is so hard to stop. You also have studs in here like Devontae Adams. Jonathan Taylor, nobody really knows about. Like, I don't know if he's going to play or not, but with Anthony Richardson, like, that's going to be a mean combo. It's definitely a tricky pick here, but, like, it's almost a no-brainer. I got the Rookie of the Year from the New York Jets, Garrett Wilson. He's teamed up with Aaron Rodgers. I know he hurt his ankle in practice, but the guy should be good to go. And having receivers like Garrett Wilson and Tyreek Hill is pretty nasty. I'm also low-key looking for Tua at the quarterback, like if I could get him in like a later round. Right now, my running backs are a huge struggle. I have really bad running backs, and you don't want to not have running backs this late in the draft. But you'll go with running backs in your next pick. Like, there's so many good running backs. Jahmyr Gibbs should have a great year in Detroit. Joe Mixon from Cincinnati should have a great year. Also Najee, because the Steelers' pass game is going to be so legit with Deontay Johnson, George Pickens, and then Allen Robinson. Everyone's really high on Kenny Pickett too. He's the hobby hero. He's selling for more than basically everyone. The Pittsburgh kid should have a long career in Pittsburgh. They love him out there. We'll see if JT drops. We'll see if Jonathan Taylor drops. Like, who knows what's going to happen? We shot some content with Jonathan Taylor this offseason. He was amazing, super nice guy. You really want him to do well. And with Anthony Richardson being able to run everywhere, they're going to have to do quarterback spies. So you definitely see some running holes open up for Jonathan Taylor. I think the Colts are going to win that division. I don't care who's playing quarterback, whether it's AR or Gardner Minshew. I just think that the Jaguars are going to have a decrease in the year. I don't know exactly why. Trevor Lawrence is great, but I just don't see the Jaguars doing too well. Texans are never going to be a good football team with the name Houston Texans. And the Titans just, I don't know, man. Malik Willis, they just don't have a quarterback, and it's just not happening for the Titans. Like, it's all done. For the Titans, I really see the Colts winning that division. Again, tons of running backs here. Ramondre Stevenson had a great year last year. Anytime you get a running back in Bill Belichick's offense, it sucks because there's so many of them, and it always feels like there's always different running backs scoring. But Ramondre is a dog, and I think he'll catch and run the ball a ton. I'm super good with grabbing Ramondre. Also love Etienne. Again, I'm not big on the Jaguars, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to put up fantasy numbers. Najee's here. And then again, Chris Olave's going to have such a good year this year. Derek Carr looks like Zion Williamson right now. He is jacked up, and the Saints are going to win that division. I know the Falcons are going to have some good games, but they'll end up crumbling at the end of the year like they always do. Josh Allen got picked. So now we have Najee available. Olave, Ramondre. Man, I obviously want to get Najee, but dude, Ramondre is just the guy. Ramondre catches the ball, runs the ball. So many good receivers are here still. I want to get Najee. Joe Mixon is also such a stud. Still don't have a tight end also. Mark Andrews is absolutely nasty. There is a lot of running back options here. I guess I'm going to do the smart thing and go Mark Andrews here. Just because, again, I told you, like, locking in those tight ends are super important. I'm a Steelers fan, so it's obviously difficult to get Mark Andrews, but it's the right move. Najee just got picked up. Joe Mixon, Ramondre, those are 2 running backs here. Jahmyr Gibbs, Kenneth Walker, Dameon Pierce. There's a lot of good running backs here. Definitely going to get one of these top guys. It kind of hurts not to get Najee, but I think it makes the most sense to just, like, lock in that tight end. Hawkinson, George Kittle, Kyle Pitts. I like Darren Waller too, man. D-Wall and Daniel Jones are going to go crazy. Darren Waller's really good. I don't know what happened with him in Oakland, in Vegas, but Darren Waller is a beast, and Daniel Jones is out of his mind. I love Daniel Jones. Yeah, fantasy drafts take forever. They're no joke. They definitely take a little bit. So what running backs got taken? Joe Mixon, Najee. So we still got Ramondre, Jahmyr Gibbs, J.K. Dobbins, Kenneth Walker, Dameon Pierce. I'm super good with Dameon Pierce. I love Dameon Pierce. I know, like, the Texans aren't the best team, but Dameon Pierce is going to put up numbers. Dameon Pierce is nasty. Yeah, people know Calvin Ridley's definitely going to have a good year. Oh, they grab Ramondre. They grab Ramondre from me. 1, 2, 3. I'm in. There's 3 picks, so Kenneth Walker, Dameon Pierce. I don't love the Eagles this year, to be honest with you. We'll see. I mean, on paper, they're so nasty, and, like, they should be, of course, good. But in NFL history, usually the teams that lose the Super Bowl don't have the best years. I love Kenneth Walker. I really hope he doesn't get taken. Perfect. Kenneth Walker for me. That's an easy pick right there. So I got Kenneth Walker. I'm going to need another running back, but I did lock up Kenneth Walker here. But we're going to need another running back, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 picks in front of me. So in fantasy football, you're always going to have to give something up, whether you give up your tight end spot and get one later, or your running back spot, or your receiver spot. So it's always a give and take, but I was willing to wait on a running back to lock in Mark Andrews. We could look at the tight ends here really quick to see who I like. I love Darren Waller. Pat Freiermuth should be good as well. I got a sleeper tight end for you guys, too. Where is he at? Sam Laporta. Sam Laporta might have a better year than most. And in my big league, I might not reach for a tight end fast. I might really wait for him. I might really wait for Sam Laporta. He's going to go crazy. I love the Lions this year. They're minus 130 or plus 130 to win the division. It's the first time the Detroit Lions have ever been favored to win the division. The Packers, for the first time ever, are the least favorite. People are picking the Bears, but they're like 3-1 on the money. And Justin Fields is super athletic, and he might be a great quarterback, but I just don't see Justin Fields winning it. He could. I truly don't see it. And the Minnesota Vikings, just the numbers of how, like, they should be favored to win the division, and the fact that they're not really surprises me. And Vegas is always smarter than us, so I'm sure the public will jump on Minnesota to win that division, but that was last year, not this year. Calvin Ridley, one of my sleepers. He got picked in the 41st pick. It's a little bit weird to me because I loved Calvin Ridley coming into it, but I hate when everyone says the same thing and everyone's like super on Calvin Ridley right now. He hasn't played in a few years. When he does play, he drops double-digit fantasy points like every Sunday. I just don't love the Jaguars this year. I don't know what it is. That's easy for me. They gave me Dameon Pierce. This team is unreal. Tyreek Hill, Garrett Wilson, Kenneth Walker, Dameon Pierce, and Mark Andrews. It's a beautiful team. And then I'm just going to make it so much prettier. I'm going to make it so much prettier because I'm not going to draft the quarterback till later. And you stack your receivers. and just keep stacking receivers and running backs. Like, he really just keeps stacking receivers and running backs in case of injuries, bye weeks, etc. It's really important to handcuff your running backs. I can't begin to tell you how important it is. So the backup running back for the Seattle Seahawks is Zach Charbonnet. If you're getting Kenneth Walker, you 100% want to drive Zach. Man, when Alvin Kamara comes back, he's going to put up numbers. I like Drake London a lot this year. I'm just scared. Does Desmond Ridder throw the ball to receivers? I saw a lot of checkdowns from him last year. He's playing super conservative ball. I know it was his rookie year. Are the Falcons going to let him air it out? Like, what's going to happen with him? Like, they're going to have a mean run game. They have Cordarrelle Patterson, who's a little banged up right now, but he'll be back, and obviously Bijan Robinson. So they're going to be running the ball a lot, I feel, and kind of playing conservatively. Maybe that'll open the pass for Desmond Ridder and Drake London. They definitely have a good connection because Drake London catches balls and he gets targets all the time. It's almost tough not to draft Drake London. The thing is, Keenan Allen has somebody by the name of Justin Herbert as his quarterback, and I just feel that Justin Herbert is going to go far this year. I'm not surprised if the Chargers win the Super Bowl this year. I love Justin Herbert. I really do think it's his time. He was so banged up last year. He had broken ribs. He had broken everything. He barely could play. And obviously they had that huge meltdown against the Jaguars, up 27-0 in the playoffs. I don't think he's going to let us down like that again. I think he's playing with a huge chip on his shoulder. All right, so we're going to go Keenan Allen here. It's hard not to take Keenan Allen in the 6th round as your flex receiver. Of course, you love Drake London, but Keenan Allen's a smart play here. I love Deontay Johnson too. Dude didn't get in the end zone last year, and he gets tons of targets. So Deontay Johnson, 8 catches a game, some crazy number like that. He'll get in the end zone a few times this year, at least like 4 at least. Drake London just got picked. DeAndre Swift got picked. Alexander Madison's going to be the starting running back in Minnesota with Dalvin Cook gone. I've loved Madison since he's gotten in the league. Been a big Madison fan. This is the first time where he's going to actually be able to take the reins, so it's going to be fun to see. It's definitely going to be fun to see Alexander Madison kind of come in there, be the starter. I've always loved Madison. Miles Sanders has been hurt. They're not going to use him anymore for the preseason. We'll see if they're going to use him at all. DeAndre Hopkins going to Tennessee is going to be really interesting. We got Tanny back at quarterback in Tennessee. I mean, Tennessee could low-key be really good. I might have really messed up on not getting Derrick Henry. It was tough because I got Garrett Wilson, but Ryan Tannehill, DeAndre Hopkins, Derrick Henry, kind of interesting. Tannehill's won some big games in the past. You could really never rule him out. Could never rule him out. I like Javonte Williams this year. He had a serious ACL injury last year. Usually when running backs have that injury, sometimes it's hard to recover from, but Javonte Williams is a dog. Could use some more running backs too. I do like having Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, low-key. It sounds a little bit crazy. You never want to draft 2 receivers from the same team, but those guys are both really solid. I'm going to trust my gut here. This is kind of a tough decision. I'm really on Khalil Herbert or Pacheco. Really good last year. Khalil Herbert did really good with Montgomery. I'm going Herbert. David Montgomery left Chicago. Just when you have quarterbacks that run the ball, it opens the run game a lot for running backs, screen passes, runs, etc. Khalil Herbert's going to have an absolutely fantastic year. Pacheco also is a dog, and he's going to have a great year as well. I went Herbert. I went Khalil Herbert. Was definitely thinking about Pacheco, though. Pacheco, anytime you're Patrick Mahomes is running back, it's usually a good sign, especially on the receiving end. As you guys see here, I got Tyreek Hill, Garrett Wilson, Kenneth Walker, Dameon Pierce, Mark Andrews, Keenan Allen, Khalil Herbert. I love this team because I was drafting to make sure that I'm getting the player in that round that's going to get me the most points. In the 3rd round, I got Mark Andrews, which I obviously could have gotten a stud receiver like Chris Olave, but my receivers were super stacked, and I really needed a tight end. I explained to you the importance of a tight end earlier in this segment. So that's like my fantasy pointers. I hope you guys have a great year. We're going to be doing a lot of fantasy football content and just like live streaming, watching the games and stuff like that. You could watch the games live with the Pull Wax crew. We're going to be making sure to like stream on YouTube and just for you guys to be able to come in, hang out, chat with us, ask us questions, show you what we're betting on, show you just like who we're collecting, what we're buying, etc. Fantasy football is the most exciting time of the year. I can't wait for it. I'm super excited. I really, really am super excited for this. I hope the Steelers have a great year with Kenny Pickett at the helm and Deontay Johnson, George Pickens, the addition of Allen Robinson, Najee Harris. Jalen Warren had an incredible year low-key last year, Freiermuth. Drafting Broderick Jones in the first round for Pittsburgh is really good because we really needed help on that O-line. Having TJ Watt, Cameron Hayward back, Minkah Fitzpatrick, those are our key guys on defense, and a lot of new additions as well. KZ at safety. It's going to be a really fun year. Patrick Peterson coming back to play. He's playing in Pittsburgh. That's super exciting. So we'll see what happens. I definitely appreciate you guys for watching this. It means a lot. There's still so many picks that we haven't done yet, but this is the gist of it. I'm sure we'll do some more videos. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to shoot. Thank you guys so much. Drop your comments. Please subscribe to our videos. We're definitely going to be creating a lot more sports content in and out of sports cards. So appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day.